So today I want to ask you a couple of more questions about things you need to consider when delivery driving, no matter what type of delivery driving that might be. Things that you want to consider are things like how important is not having to deal with passengers. Is that something that matters? How about restaurants? Is that important to you? Because you need to decide out of the plethora of choices, if these things matter so you can narrow down your search. How important is not having to deal with grocery stores, etc. The next thing you need to consider when deciding if you want to do gig work as it relates to delivery driving is how important is earnings potential. Next, we have how important is access to free parking. Now, depending on what state, city you're in, that could really make a difference. It could really eat up your money, right? Eat up your earnings if you don't have free parking. How important is access to restrooms? I said on a couple of videos back, this summer, another thing we talked about regarding inclement weather or record-breaking weather, unusual weather, however you want to see it, whether we haven't ever had at all, weather patterns, or haven't seen in half a century or centuries long. Those types of things are happening for a reason, and you'll have to go back again on my last video to see why. So I drank a lot of water. I showed you on my video, life-changing deliveries you can't miss. I showed you how big of a size container I used throughout the summer of 2024, one of the hottest summers ever, and why I used it, right? To keep from getting dehydrated. And so what if I didn't have access to restrooms at any of the companies who I do delivery driving for? Could you imagine having to stop, at, convenience stores over and over and over, working 14, 16 hours a day at that time? Can you imagine? Another thing to consider is there anything, around you that maybe wouldn't support your decision to do delivery driving? And is that something that makes a difference?